Good afternoon, everyone. Last time you saw me, I was up here, I was just haggard. My voice, I remember thinking, I was like, my voice just sounds like it's breaking in half because I was just so tired from coming back from North Carolina. I had an hour and a half of sleep last week when I was up here speaking. And in that haze, I was like, I'll give you more of an update next week when I'm more alive. And so I want to give you more of an update about my time in North Carolina because it was a fantastic time over there. I loved going there. I love getting to just join up with other young leaders within GCI and just see what they're up to, see what God's up to in their lives, in the ministry that they're participating in, wherever it might be, and just get trained there a little bit too. And so it was a fantastic week. I don't know if that picture's up. No. So behind me, Stephen will throw up there. I don't know if any of you are on Facebook. That's a picture of all of us. Actually, not even all of us. I think there's like 3 or 4 interns who weren't able to make it just because they had like work, or they just couldn't afford the flight, or they had school, because not all of them are GCS students. Some of them are like Duke Divinity students. Some go to Princeton. Smart kids. And so not everyone could make it. But behind me, you'll see just everyone, and every single year that I come to this orientation, there's always new people. One just funny thing that I noted the very first year that I went to this orientation, and I noted this year too, I was like, there's a lot of black people in our internship. I was like, this is great. I was just noticing. I was like, I wasn't expecting so many black people. And so that's cool to have that. So in here, I'm just going to take this off really quick. Sometimes it's nice to not be bound by a podium. So, stepping away from the podium. That doesn't happen a lot. So, I wish I had a laser pointer too, so I can give a lecture now. So, I'm just going to point out the new people in here. The one in the very front center, most of you have seen her, the orange-haired young woman, Sierra. She just joined this year. We found out through her that you don't need to have your bachelor's to become an intern. It was fantastic too. She's going to, it's called Grace Communion, like Christian, it's this other thing that like accreditates you to be a pastor. It trains you specifically to be a pastor within GCI, and so she's going to start going to that. We had this other guy to the left of her, this guy with glasses, his name is Jim. He's just kind of perspective, he's just looking. He was there the entire week, and he was all like, I want to see what GCI is all about. I want to see what this internship's all about. And so he joined us that week. He's a fantastic guy. He also goes to Princeton as well with this young man named Eddie. He's in there. I'm not going to point him out, but he's been there since last year. The kid to the left of him, that black kid, is Zakar. Brand new, just came in, just graduated college. The woman above him, CJ, she's new. She's a pastoral resident. She's in her late 30s. And if you're too, quote-unquote, old to be an intern, they allow you to be a resident, which is kind of cool. To the right of her is this woman named Lauren. Always nice to meet other married young people. Don't have enough of those. And so she's very, very fun. The guy below me is new. His name is Justin. Another married guy, yeah. To the left of me is Koa. He is actually going to be at New Hope. He's their intern, and he comes from Hawaii. And it's fantastic that we have another resource, because we can always work with our sister church. I don't know why it's never a brother church, but with our sister church, New Hope, because Koa will be there. And who else is new, I think? And there's an Asian guy all the way on the left. His name is Josh. And those are all the new interns that we've been seeing. Feel free to just stare at that while I talk. But it was just a wonderful week full of a lot of camaraderie, as I commented last week, much more than ever before, since I've been at a few conferences now. And a lot of times everyone was just kind of like, I don't want to say respectful, because we weren't like not respectful towards each other, but we're more comfortable towards each other this year, where we're just like, oh, hey, what's going on, man? Just make jokes and be sarcastic with each other, and just be just regular. And it was wonderful to experience just regular camaraderie amongst Christians, because we are regular people too, as well as wanting to go into the ministry full time. And during that week, there was a lot of, during the morning from we started at 9 a.m. and finished at 5 p.m. There were sessions all during that time full of just training, whether it be learning how to minister and how to talk to youth, college students, or just people, your peers, your colleagues, what have you. We talked about grace. As you know, Jeff McSwain, he is just becoming like our new figurehead for our theology. He's just in love with it, and I just love seeing people in love with our theology, because I think grace is fantastic, and it is not just talked about enough in our world. We get this image of Christ and God the Father just being this angry guy just waiting. We'll hear about that more in Hebrews 9, actually. But it's not. We know that he is not this angry Father. He's full of compassion and grace and mercy for all of us, and love. And so we're talking about, in a theological sense, what grace is, and very heavy discussions where some of the things that were discussed, I was like, I need to do a little research to learn some of the words that were being used, because I just didn't know what they were saying, some of the words, because they were talking about there's this dualism that happens, when actually it's not dualism, it's a duality of human and spirit and all this stuff. And I was like, what? And so there were very heavy theological talks, wonderful conversations that we had, a lot of just talking, a lot of questions, a lot of just back and forth, and it was just fantastic week. And it was just refreshing. It was encouraging to be around that many young people and see how each one of them has a different heart for various things. Corey and Corey, those two black guys that look like brothers, are not brothers at all. They just look the same and have the same name, which is so completely astronomically a low percentage that would happen. But Corey and Corey, they just both have hearts for racial injustice. People like Kara at the bottom next to Jillian, who will be with us next month. Kara, she has a heart for sex trafficking. Everyone has these large disparities of where their hearts are, and it was just amazing to see God working in the hearts of all these young people, and just how it's not like, oh, I want to be a pastor, I want to be a pastor, I want to be a pastor. It's like, I want to be someone who works with youth. I want to be someone who works with people who are just like drug addicts. I want to be someone who works with this and that. And so it was just amazing to discuss and collaborate with these people and see what God's up to. And so I'm just so thankful to all of you for supporting me and for praying for me. So much more I could tell you if you want to come up to me later and ask me. I can't steal all of Mike's time, as we all seem to be doing. I could talk here for a full 40 minutes about this, but it was an amazing week. I'm so thankful for going. I just feel, every time I come back from a conference, I just feel so encouraged to just be like, oh, there are other people who have the same mindset who want to go into full-time ministry, despite, as a whole, just ministry and church are on decline in America and just in the world as a whole. But it's still encouraging to see that there are people who are on fire for God, who want to share his love and share his grace and just have people know who he is. And so, thank you so much for this. And it was fantastic week. I feel so encouraged and so just elated from being around those people and just seeing where GCI is going and knowing that it's going to continue to grow and grow as the previous generation passes off the baton to us. So thank you all so much.